I have documented my fitness journey in the last 2 years from the start.
This is my story of how I went from weak to strong, from knowing nothing about fitness to knowing what to do.
I guess the best feeling is being healthy, feeling good, and being confident. If you are a beginner or you have been out of this game for a long time, here I'm using myself as an exhibit A. This is my personal journey and my own experience. I'm sharing this with you in the hope that you can find this helpful in some way or another. It is important that you should never ever compare your chapter 0 to someone else chapter 20. It is possible to change your shape. It's possible to change your habit. It is possible for you to take action and change something that you are unhappy with. Now, my starting point was 0. By that, I meant I have done very little exercise to none. The majority of my life at that point, I spent for studying, working, and enjoying delicious food. I mean, come on, who can say no to delicious food? By the way, just so you know, I'm still doing all of the above, plus more exercise and more balance in my life. Let's just have a close examination. I have very little strength. Stamina, I have none.
I'm struggling to make abs, legs. I can do 0 push-ups.
Beginning, it was extremely difficult because my body was not used to it. I think the commitment that I made was I really wanted this. I have to commit to it seriously. As a girl who first approached fitness, when you come into the gym and then you see that everybody was looking fit, it's kind of feeling intimidating. I feel that I was an amateur. I just don't have the confidence to be in there.
I started like this, then I increase the weight by adding it a little bit more. If I feel like my body did not like it, I reduce it. If I feel I'm comfortable with it, I increase it. Eventually, I just got used to it and not be afraid of it anymore.
I want to be strong and sexy, and I wanted my abs to be visible. Yes, and that is like how I wanted to look like.
Guys, I think I achieved my goals. But let me walk you through. You see, I did not know how to squat. I have to put a little weight under myself. When I sit on it, my body memorized the movement. Sometimes I felt my knee were in pain when I squat. That was because my knee was pushing inward, inside my body instead of outside. So I use a resistance band here, as you can see, to remind myself that I have to push outward to align with my toes. When I feel comfortable with the form, I increase the weight.
I want it to be the part of my lifestyle. The only way for this is to find a sustainability spot. It means that is not that you go through 2 weeks. You can do it for a short time and then when you stop doing it, will go away. It should be something that you can do it daily or weekly to achieve and maintain it. I really hated cardio. I hate running. I'm still hate running. Now, weightlifting is a little bit different for me because it kind of giving me the strength that I wanted to. I remember the feeling of myself when I can finally perform like a squat, or I can be able to do a deadlift with the weight that heavier than myself. The feeling was really cool. I just feel like I am invincible, but maybe I'm not, but I feel like that. Like you would feel like a superwoman. Now I just want to dive into the real stuff. I had a lot of unrealistic expectations of what I can achieve in a short time. There was a lot of confusion. It's like which exercise I should do to lose my belly fat, arm fat, or to grow my booty. What time should I work out? After thinking too much of which exercise should I do, I realized that I should do them all. Because if you really think about it, working on only one part of your body make your body look really imbalanced. Now it was really funny that at first I was really weak for push-ups. I could not hold myself up to the air. It took me 6 months to do my first full push-ups without knee support. And then At this point in time, I can proudly say that I can do 10 to 12 depending on the day. But for ab exercise, the upper part of your abs tend to show first because that is when the fat will go away. The lower abs will be a challenge. If you eat a lot of sugar, that is when our body tends to store extra fat. It will take a while to make all of that to go away. And the most important part, before I jump into anything else, we cannot decide where our fat will go first. You cannot really choose, genetic will choose. So just be consistent, do everything that you can. Now, what else did I try? So I tried to cutting out all the sugar in my food very seriously for 4 or 5 months. It was such a torture. But that period really educated me on how sugar impacts my body and my brain and how much sugar in each of the individual food and drinks. Emotionally, I felt I was draining out because without sugar, I feel unhappy all the time. Sometimes when I feel stressed out from work and studying, I just wanted to have some bubble tea or some milk chocolate, but I told myself I would stick to it. After that period, I feel like I can notice very specific that this kind of food is too sweet and I don't really want that. During the time I cut out sugar, I did not eat sweet at all. Mainly, I was eating fruits. The fruits that I chose were strawberry and blueberry. Those are really low in natural sugar. Now I think that I got more on the balance side. I do go for milk chocolate sometimes when I feel like it, and I do eat more sweet fruit, but can clearly notice that there is a significant level of sweetness in a certain food. As a woman, naturally, our upper body is not so strong. Most days we just sit down, scrolling through our phone. We don't really exercise our upper body so much. As at the start, my arm was like noodles, but now, which is stronger, I guess. One of the things girls often struggle with is our hand, our palms is naturally not so strong. Our grip is like what we hold. We cannot hold heavy things.
And it's blocked. Now I try different things, but it still requires arm strength. So I have to go back and work on it. I tried pull-ups. It was hard. If you're at home, grab a bottle of water. Doing something is better than doing nothing.
And I start to form the hard part on my palm. I don't know what it's called. My skin trying to protect myself is just a sign of you working hard. Now I remember that when I first started this, people were laughing at me like, what is she doing? They think that I was a bit crazy or I would quit somewhere on the way. After seeing my results, they stopped that. I can explain this because my friend at the time, they were used to a version of me, but not the other version of me. I used to be like a huge foodie and I love bubble tea. I love trying out on restaurants. Seeing my switch from this extreme to that extreme, it was like such a shock for them. Surface, I look skinny, but under that, I always feel that I was weak and not energetic. But I guess what I feel is not what people see.
I'm trying to lift this, but it doesn't move. It took me a few takes to get this up. I felt stronger and more confidence in what I do.
I think it's really important to take care of how you feel because at the end of the day, it's your body. What you feel is important. During the first year, I was constantly learning about how I can improve my movement, how I can progress quicker. I learned about diet, calculate calories, macronutrition, micronutrition. I am really appreciated that most of my friends who were close to me, they were extremely supportive, even though they did not understand at the time, but they enjoyed it. So for example, me and my best friend had a trip to Korea and Japan. I have this fear of I will lose all of my progress. I was being freaking crazy. I work out all the time. My best friend, she was sick of it, but she was still willing to help me out. If you think of your body like a tree, for the tree to grow, you need to give it the right nutrition and food. Just like your body, if you consider to restrict your eating to lose weight, yes, but your hair and your skin may not look really healthy. What is really working for me is I educated myself on the topic of nutrition and food. You really need to know what you're putting in your body, how your body will react to it.
Did you know that eating too much of broccoli can make you gassy and drinking too much milk cause acne and joint pain?
I was really calorie obsessed. I was like counting each individual almonds that I snack throughout the days. I mainly eat chicken breast and salmon, no sugar, a lot of vegetables. The thing that I sacrificed was bubble tea. I was really addicted to bubble tea. At some point in my life that I would have 5 to 6 bubble teas on a weekly basis. But then I decided that I cut it out. I have to cut it out. When my friends went out and ordered bubble tea and I have to say no, and seeing them enjoying their bubble tea, it's like the craving inside me was difficult to manage, but I pushed it through. If you find yourself thinking about whether you should work out today or you should skip it, I recommend you should just go for it and then see how it goes. You may not be able to finish your whole workout, but at least you try. Your value does not measure in pounds or kilograms. You should not compare your journey, your body to someone else. If you do that, you will feel that you will never get there. And of course, you would never get there because it's not your body. You have different genetics. You build differently. You should visualize the best version of yourself that is inside you. She's trapped in there somewhere and you have to put in the work to release her out. So yeah, I like to think about it that way. We tend to overestimate ourselves in the short run. You think like I will have the body of my dream if I give it all in for 1 month or 2, but then you may feel completely betrayed by it because it's not like how you expected it to be. Yet we did not know if we keep sticking to it and constantly improve ourselves, the result will eventually come. Do not aim for the weight. Aim to be strong and you'll feel sexy. That's my message. And thank you for watching until the end of this video. I hope that I will see you soon.